All right, first show of the new year. Happy 2025, y'all. Welcome to season 2, episode 6 of the Recess Bell Show, streaming live on Twitter/X. Mama call him Twitter. I'ma call him Twitter. Also, will be posted live on YouTube. Well, not live. After we're done here, it'll be posted to YouTube. We'll segment it out for y'all. We'll chop it up real nice. 20-minute segments. Won't be a whole just 2-hour mishmash of everything. But Joshua Umahi joined by my guys Justin Greenberg and Kory David. How are we doing today, guys? What's going on? What's up?
I'm good. Could be. Wait, what's that?
Yeah. What is Justin have? What is?
Oh, you know what?
Strengthening your grip.
You know what I thought for a second? I thought that was like paint on your hands.
No. I
But
do like painting though.
Might have to get those eyes checked, bro.
It could be worse. I could be still be rooting for the Giants in the playoffs. I could be still rooting for the Giants right now. I'm glad my tortured soul is able to rest until the draft.
Yeah, this is how many years the Giants been
Oh,
out
brother, why are you woken it up?
I'm just merely stating the fact, bro. I'm just putting it out there. It hasn't been a good few years for y'all. I mean, aside from that one playoff win, congratulations.
Listen, it could be worse. You could be a Jets fan, which is the longest drought in all of sports without a playoff berth. So
it's at 14 years now. 14.
Yeah, it'll be 15 now. What's crazy is, I know we'll get to football later on. Rodgers' stats weren't even that bad if you look at it as a whole. It's one of the better performances from a Jets quarterback. I think for touchdowns and yards, it's third place all time for a season. Which
that's just showing how
bad that franchise has been.
Yeah, Kory got a smug look on his face. I want to know what he got to say to that.
No. I'm just showing you. That shows how bad that organization is. I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Rodgers gonna wind up in Minnesota. He gonna pull the whole Vikings quarterback circle of life.
You're so committed to the circle of life, the Jordan Love theory. That's where he's at with it.
Jordan Love got a couple more. He got a good amount of time in Green Bay before he become a Jets quarterback,
and then finishes his career in Minnesota, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will he do something controversial though? Will he do something stupid or controversial like Favre and Rodgers has done, or is he going to be,
Yeah, something stupid's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got that Tarzan song stuck in my head about like.
He's gonna start singing, y'all.
Nah.
Watch out.
Nah. Mm-hmm. It's like something. 2 words, one family. Bless your yo. You know what song I'm talking about?
I know. Phil Collins, baby.
Yeah. I don't know why it's like a circle of life moment. I feel like whenever I hear that song.
Or you could have just sang "The Circle of Life" from The Lion King, another Disney movie.
Yeah. True. I had to say it was on my spirit though.
That's fine. That song actually, that whole Tarzan debacle of 1999, that won best song at the Oscars, and it beat out a few other big contenders, which I'm still upset with. Blame Canada from Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the South Park guys, and then a fantastic track from Toy Story 2, When Somebody Loved Me, written by Randy Newman. Both lost out.
Wait. Randy Newman wrote When Somebody Loves Me?
Yeah. He didn't sing it, but he wrote it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll say it right here. I shed a few thug tears every time that scene comes on with Jesse.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. It's a very well written song, and I think far superior than anything from Tarzan.
I'm not going front. When it comes to Toy Story and Randy Newman, it's like LeBron and D Wade. It's like he put out nothing but hits. I remember he had this song "Strange Things Are Happening to Me."
Yeah,
man, I'm like, bro, he got the golden pen when it comes to Toy Story animated movies.
Randy Newman's a genius. He's a genius.
Except when he does
speaking of well-written and great songs. Kory, do you know where I'm taking this next?
I know what you say. We talking about the hottest rap track of 2025. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are we?
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Are you aware of
Exclusive, a World Star hip hop exclusive. This is yo. So this song is going viral everywhere. I've seen Kory, even broadcasters. Like I heard the Rockets broadcaster quote this song.
Whoa. And I heard that she wanna show me who she be. I'm gonna with it, show me some more. If you tad head, don't give the store up. You wanna meet with up with me, and I'ma show you how to go. Like the money in my fucking flow.
A little offbeat, but
Hey.
listen, so Kory is. We know Kory to be the biggest LaMelo Ball fan there is.
Hold on, turn it
He has this
down.
thing with Lonzo too. Has this thing with Lonzo as well. But LiAngelo Ball, shout out. He put himself.
Hold on a second.
He put himself back on the map with this one.
Hold on, lower the music. Why'd you say it like that?
Tell me how to run my show.
Why'd you say it like that?
Say like what?
Why'd you say LiAngelo?
LiAngelo?
Why you saying it like that?
Oh, Justin, this is the part where he puts me on the cross for not knowing the third Ball brother's name. How to pronounce it?
It's just LiAngelo. No. It's LiAngelo. Where did Lie come from? Between Lee.
Is this really what, Kory? You have a penchant of just spending time on meaningless things. Like, we only have a couple. We only have such a certain amount of time on.
I don't know. I know. It's like okay. Y'all know in Family Guy when Stewie says "Cool Whip," it's like no, it's Cool Whip. Say it right.
So, Kory, are you would be Ball, the Ball family's lawyer by any chance? How do you know this verbatim 100%?
I've been watching them since they was in high school. Pause. But wait a second. I was out.
Don't walk it back. Don't walk it back. You've been watching them young boys since high school. That's what you were doing. Don't walk it back. Don't walk it back.
Hey, yo. Why you trying to set me up for? But nah, I seen Shaq inside the NBA crew listening to it last night.
Nah, it's a sensation, bro. It's starting to be a global sensation.
You wanna know why? You know why it's a global phenomenon, right? It's because it sounds like something from 2005, 2004. It's for what they call us old folks, unks. We're uncles. Josh, you don't fall into that category, as we know. You still a Gen Zer.
I'm a zillennial.
No, you stop it. You're just Blade. You're Blade, okay? You're Daywalker.
That's the phrase that that I learned this week. Zillennial. You're Gen Z and you're a millennial. I'm right on the cusp.
Yeah, Justin. He's trying to pass for a millennial, but we know what his true nature is. He was born in 97.
Listen, I still think we'll have to consult the council, but the council, but I think he could pass.
The cutoff point for me is 94. And you know who had to make that?
Because Kory makes the rules on all this stuff.
I am a part of the Tribunal Council of Millennials.
All right. So go ahead.
I was about to say, like, nobody had LiAngelo Ball being the top rapper of 2025 to start off, outstreaming artists like Lil Baby and all these other top acts to the point where he has his own set on Rolling Loud now. Who would have thought?
Not me.
and then a lot of people don't realize this, and I have. He really stole like a Louisiana flow.
I'll take your word for it, bro. All right, before we get too off the rails here, again, I would encourage everybody, like I said at the start, these shows get posted to YouTube. We have a lot of YouTube shorts on there where you can listen to Kory, Justin, and myself yap about whatever topic is current or was current at that time. So the Recess Bell on YouTube, follow the Recess Bell on Instagram, TikTok, and of course X, where we're streaming live right now. So we brought up we on our best of the week segment. This is where we bring up the best whatever we saw, witnessed, went through this week. Kory, you know what? Since you had a lot of FaceTime to start the show, I'm gonna just apply the LiAngelo Ball tweaker track to you. But I did want to come to
that wasn't my best one week.
Well, I'm applying it to you. You had a lot of FaceTime to start the show. I think we're all about Kory David it out for the first block. But
okay,
I did want to come to Justin because, and well, this is really for both of y'all, because as y'all have, anybody that's followed the Recess Bell knows, whether it's been on the website, whether it's been on our podcast feed, y'all have been, pro wrestling through and through since y'all youth. Yeah. And it's gone through a lot of evolutions and it's been on a lot of channels and all of that stuff. But I believe this was the WWE Monday Night Raw debut on Netflix. Do I have that right?
Yeah, January 6th, the debut of Raw, and it was a smashing success on a lot of fronts. I think if you're looking at it as far as creativity goes, I was not a big fan of what they did. They really didn't push any storyline. They didn't do anything shocking. I would have done something to make the audience want to return the next week. They played it very safe and was very corporate. It was a lot of sucking each other off in a sense. It was just like, look at us. We're so great. We're so grand. We have all these executives here. We're in Hollywood. And to me, it fell short. But all those big shows, any of the time they do a big anniversary show, 1000th episode of Raw, to me, it's just, look at what we've done so far. It's just more of like an infomercial for what Raw can be. But there were some good moments for sure. The main event was fantastic.
With me, it comes to this, like, I hate to say it, but look, Triple H is doing a good job. Paul Levesque is doing a good job. It seems as though when the lights are on the brightest, they hide away from what they actually are, which is a professional wrestling company. And it tries to show you that they're a sports entertainment company. And so they get away from it. Next week, you'll probably get more wrestling and you'll probably get actual stories that lead you and you'll get the stuff that you want. But that was just a commercial. That was just a 3-hour commercial, basically.
So are your hopes high on what they'll continue to do on Netflix from this point forward?
Of course.
They definitely are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
of course
they have this build up right now. January to April is usually the best part to be a WWE fan. They have the Royal Rumble, which is my personal favorite pay-per-view. That's going to be in early February this year. It's usually January. And then the lead up to WrestleMania. This is where you're going to get all the star power. The main issue that I had with Raw, besides not following up and really getting people invested for the next week, is they sort of took away a great storyline from last year. The Rock, who everyone knows, he was the best villain in pro wrestling, a heel, as they call it. And he did all these dastardly acts. He was attacking Cody Rhodes backstage. He was calling out Cody Rhodes' mom. He was beefing with so many people. And there were so many potential feuds that were set up. Him versus his, tribal chief member, Roman Reigns, and him versus Cody Rhodes. And then he hasn't been on TV in quite some time, The Rock. And he comes out and he's smiling. He's not a bad guy anymore for no explanation. And he's hugging Cody Rhodes backstage. And to me, it's just, why are we not following up on this Cody and Rock thing?
Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, The Rock, people don't want to admit this, but The Rock and Triple H are two of the most online people in the world. They see and hear everything, because the next night on another show that WWE runs, NXT, he addressed that. to the point where he was just like, people can think what they want to think, but the final boss is 20 steps ahead. So he tries to play it off like he has this whole strategic movement going on. But my thing is, and I know this is probably going to lead into something else that we're going to talk about with this whole Raw thing, is the fact that it was I hated the nostalgia acts of it. I thought the nostalgia acts took away from what the show was. Now, I don't know if try to segue into something, but there was some legends that got booed. It was a lot.
Well, there was one
a lot
legend. There was one legend that got booed.
Oh, did you say legends that got booed?
Because you guys
brother.
with me through thick and thin, dudes. Yo, I've got a new tag team partner right now. I got Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer that I teamed up.
Ooh.
And in the past, I've had a whole bunch of partners down the line. I had incredible partners like ooh.
Well, number one, those are very long, drawn out, intense boos.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, he did power through it pretty well, though.
Nah, he did not.
How are you gonna tell me not?
He did not. He did not.
I thought he powered. Justin, what you think?
I mean, he didn't acknowledge the boos. I mean, the guy's been talking on the microphone for 50 years, so he knows what he's doing. He's been booed before when he's supposed to be cheered, you know, even back, 25 years ago when he was in WCW. So he's used to it. Now, here's the thing with Hogan, and I'm reading this online, and this could be something interesting. Hulk Hogan, he turned bad guy heel in 1996, and it really wrestling was really in the dumps in the early 90s, and him turning bad guy really rejuvenated the business. Not saying he's going to do that same business today, but if he turns heel, that could be interesting. That if he plays into the fact that he isn't liked by people, that could be something that I would like to see.
There's a difference between heat and X-Pac heat. You know what X-Pac heat is, right?
Yeah.
That's that go away heat. That's like, we're good. And I think with this situation, he just tried to no sell it. And he even said, if I didn't have to promote my bad brother, I would have leaned more into it, brother. I'm like this. And then, he tried to say, it's because of the politics. And if you notice, look, we're not going to sugarcoat something. Undertaker's one of the most MAGA person, people out there. Like, he's very conservative. But people don't boo the Undertaker.
I think just to counter that quickly, and that is 100% accurate, but Undertaker, as famous as he is, he's never going to be Hulk Hogan levels of famous. And Hogan was out there.
Whoa. You mean Undertaker, who was at the World Cup presenting stuff? Stop it! Come on now, Undertaker's pretty well known.
If I went to my grandma and said, "Who's the Undertaker?" and she would have no idea. If I said, "Who's Hulk Hogan?" she would know. Hulk Hogan is a lifetime, in the limelight sort of guy who's on the cover of Sports Illustrated and hosted SNL. I'm not saying Undertaker isn't mainstream, but he's not as mainstream as Hulk Hogan. And just one more point on that. Undertaker wasn't at the actual rally. That footage of Hogan being at that rally with Trump is something that went extremely viral, more so than Undertaker having Donald Trump on his podcast. Nobody was posting that on social media as much as the Hulk Hogan being at the rally. That was played on all the news stations, much more so than that.
Oh, but Justin, this also. We know that's not why people booing Hulk Hogan. Oh. There was an incident. It was an incident years ago. That was very public.
I think there's several incidences with Hogan. Yeah, like to Kory's point, Hogan was getting booed 2-3 years ago when Mania was in Tampa Bay because he said racist things. Everyone knows, the racist words that were leaked. He was recorded, and he didn't even follow up on his racism with a good, follow up. Like he could have nipped that in the butt and sort of, made right to an extent, but he made things worse. And he's a habitual liar who has been undermining talent for decades.
And the thing is, the thing that people mad about.
Last point, Kory. Last point.
he never really apologized for that. He just said, "Man, brother, you gotta watch out. People are going to try to take you down." But my thing is, my last point with this is WWE needs to focus more towards the future instead of the past. Yeah, have a nostalgia act here and there, but make it make sense, because Undertaker coming out didn't make sense. And then I'm not gonna lie, being in bed with Hulk Hogan and all those other companies, I did not like the ring mat being disgraced with all those logos.
Yeah, the ring mat now has a ton of advertisement all over it. It's sort of like what the UFC does, but they got to make their money. And WWE, for all the faults that we're saying right now, they are doing the best business as far as money wise that they've ever done. Or as many people watching as it was back in the day? No, but they're making more money than ever.
And look, I don't agree with what allegedly this guy has done, but he did keep the mat sacred. I ain't gonna mention Mr. Redacted name, but he kept the mat sacred.
Oh, one quick thing on McMahon. I'll mention his name. I don't care.
Oh, you said his name.
At the beginning of Raw, they were showing all this footage of WWE, and obviously they didn't show a single thing of Vince McMahon, which is telling because he's so integral in the history of the business. The fact that they couldn't show anything with him and Stone Cold, him and Hogan, just goes to show you that he's persona non grata right now.
Can I say one thing though? One quick thing about Vince. Now I'm saying it. Yo, Diddy needed his lawyer. Diddy needed whoever Vince got right now. I hate to say it. I think Vince is gonna get off.
Well, unfortunately, that will not be the only time that Diddy's name is mentioned on this show. But Justin,
are we talking about Diddy? No, we're gonna get into some Diddy Bayless soon.
Yeah. Listen. Yes, we will get to the FS1 lawsuit, but to segue into that, Justin brought up something interesting as far as the advertisements that you'll see on the mats, and it's the case with every sports league now. All these money-hungry sports leagues, especially the NBA. You can't watch an NBA game now without seeing ads, not just on the court, like printed and stamped on the court, like physically, but TV. They'll use how NFL broadcasts and football broadcasts will use the first down line, the yellow line going across. So they'll use the same projections and projecting software and put these ads on the court. And I'm like, yo, what? Y'all starting to look like what is it? The NASCAR racing? Like if the court or the mat or the field or anything else is starting to look like a NASCAR jacket, we need to chill out a little bit. But we're past the point of no return with that.
The thing that really, frustrates me with this, it is what it is. It's always, sports are always going to evolve. So there's going to be teams probably named after products at some point. The Chicago Coca-Colas in 40 years. But what was so bizarre in recent years, we've been seeing this with baseball jerseys. On the actual jersey, they'll have. The Mets have their logo somewhat big, but then there's also a logo for something else right below it, and that's going to get even more so.
Look, it's happened already, especially with the NBA. I knew the NBA might have been a little cooked when I seen the Charlotte Hornets had Mr. Beast's candy as a sponsor on their thing. So I said that's kind of crazy, but I just hope it never gets to the point where, unfortunately, where it's like the old WNBA where you had Mayo Clinic just plastered over the jersey. Like, what's the team logo? What's that? I always find that just crazy. Like, Team Mayo Clinic.
You know what else I found crazy?
Michael Penix.
So Justin, he was over here grilling me about LiAngelo Ball, but this is what he pronounced Michael Penix's name, Michael Penix Jr.
Michael Penix.
Come on, bro.
And now, mind you, Justin.
Michael Penix.
Justin, you know what type of world and society we live in right now. That was clearly AI.
That is true, Josh. I don't know if that.
Michael Penix.
I'll give you that. You got good with that technology, Josh.
That's what it is, right? Okay. Word.
I wonder who put all this software together. I'm just saying.
Clearly doctored audio.
Michael Penix.
butchering Michael Penix Jr.'s name. Yeah, that
Yeah.
AI did that. My fault, y'all. I should have been more transparent about that. My fault.
Yeah,
I'll do better.
I mean, don't worry. My team will get up with your team.
Yeah.
Using Doctor Audio.
Yeah, go ahead and sue me, bro. Go ahead and sue me. My lawyer a beast. All right. Let's take this opportunity, Kory, and you guys brought it up, the lawsuit, the Fox Sports stuff that we have to get into. I was just minding my business on Sunday night, watching my Saints just get bitched out on another Week 18 game by their rival Buccaneers. Just letting Mike Evans you want 1,000 yards, Mike? You want 1,000 yards? Go ahead and take 1,000 yards on the season, Mike. Go ahead and take these 5 yards in victory formation. Like, I had to watch that spineless shit go down, and then lo and behold, my phone starts blowing up, and I'm like, "Yo, what's going on?" I hear the first thing I saw was that Skip Bayless, what's the phrase, Kory, that I'm looking for with Skip? What's the phrase I'm looking for?
What is the phrase you're looking for?
It ain't tricking if you got it.
But
1.5. Yeah, 1.5 million. It's funny. The number most closely associated with Skip Bayless before was 1.4, as in average 1.4 points in high school basketball as a sports analyst. That's the number that was most associated with Skip Bayless.
I mean,
now it's 1.5, as in $1.5 million offered to a woman by the name of Nushin Faraji, who pressed this lawsuit against Skip. It's insane. Like, so I saw that, and that was crazy enough. And we'll get into everything with the lawsuit in a moment. As Kory knows, once I see a lawsuit, it doesn't matter how many pages it is, I will read every single page. I'm a sicko. That's what I do.
You read all of it?
I did. I sure did. All 42 pages. All 42 pages. From all the people that was named, from Skip Bayless to Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Acho, who we'll get to in just a moment, to Charlie Dixon, the executive named, to people that are named as ancillary pieces on the chessboard, like Colin Cowherd and Shannon Sharp. Although they did nothing wrong, they're just named in the lawsuit for whatever, for context.
Can I
just say Craig Carton? Was Craig Carton named at all or no?
He was not.
Nah.
That's the last
good guy, Craig Carton.
Yeah.
Good guy. Go ahead, Kory.
My thing, I've watched FS1, like, and I watched Skip Shannon Sharp Undisputed for like so long, and I'm like this. I knew that name, and I'm like this. I don't know why I knew that name, but I just remember Shannon Sharp like one day just randomly saying that name. It was like making sure, like, yeah, she gonna get me right, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I ain't know that.
Well, the phrase "get them right." So she's this Nushin Faraji. Let me just give the facts real quick. Yeah, she's the hairstylist and the makeup artist.
Yeah, so
for Fox Sports, she worked there for over a decade.
Look, when I say get them right, I mean like with the makeup, because there's been times where Shannon Sharp makeup people messed up and he looked like he was a corpse out there on live TV.
It's either that or they put a little too much blush on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Too much eyeliner.
Don't wolf that up.
My fault. Don't want to get sued or anything. Nushin Faraji was a Fox Sports employee as a hairstylist and makeup artist for over a decade. She asserted in this lawsuit that was revealed to the public Sunday afternoon. She asserted allegations of sexual harassment against former FS1 star host Skip Bayless and Fox Sports executive Charlie Dixon, along with racially insensitive along with racially insensitive comments from Skip and toxic behavior levied against current Fox Sports 1 host Joy Taylor. And we'll get to Joy in a moment as far as what she was up to. Her sexual life is really just
allegedly
is allegedly outed in a major way in this lawsuit. Kory, so you know me, I aspire to be a journalist, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's what I do. I like researching stories and giving my takes on them. I like educating the people, you know what I mean? So let it be known that I have procured exclusive video of the aforementioned Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Acho in the workplace. This is I don't want to call it breaking news, but I have exclusive video of Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Acho, the Fox Sports 1 hosts and employees in the workplace. So here
let's
we go.
see it.
Here we go.
Clap me in. You ain't gonna clap me in? You ain't gonna clap me in?
I'm gonna clap you in.
You gonna make me put it in. Give me that phone.
Stop!
Get it. Come get it. Get it, baby. Get it. Get it. What you doing? What you doing?
Report back to your station. I repeat, all workers report back to your station. Report back to your station. All workers report back to your station. I repeat, all workers report back to your station.
In all seriousness, so the sexual relationship that's revealed in this lawsuit, allegedly, Kory,
Allegedly,
between Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Acho, that's the least inflammatory thing against Joy Taylor in this lawsuit, because this lawsuit reads that Joy Taylor, when this Miss FARAJI came to her about harassment she was facing from Charlie Dixon, who Joy Taylor was allegedly engaged in a sexual relationship at the time. And Justin, this is pretty hellacious claims of quid pro quo in terms of, yeah, I'll have sex with him, is Joy Taylor saying. Yeah, I'll have sex with this Charlie Dixon to get on Undisputed, Skip show, the Hallmark show at the time on Fox Sports 1. So when FARAJI came to Taylor about the claims of, or her claims of sexual harassment from Dixon, Taylor essentially told her, and I quote, "Get over it," end quote. Not even essentially, that's a direct quote. A woman telling another woman to get, allegedly, Kory. Okay, allegedly is the subtext of this entire conversation, Kory. All right, but a woman to tell another woman in the workplace, especially a male-dominated workplace like that, to get over it when facing sexual harassment is crazy. That's
I believe
wild.
it. I believe it.
Listen, man, it's I'm not gonna speak on whether I believe it or not. I do.
Oh, brother.
But Kory, you can play defense attorney in a moment. All right. What I'm just trying to say is, between, and there's a reason why this episode is titled, "Are we surprised?" Like, we surprised at this? Fox Sports 1, I said this on the radio earlier this week. Fox Sports 1, well, compared to ESPN, which ESPN is no, golden boy right now in its own right. I think ESPN has had a large fall from grace from where it used to be. But Fox Sports 1 is kind of like the redheaded stepchild that ESPN got to live with. Like, you have all of ESPN's, for lack of a better phrase, when we're talking about some of the things in this lawsuit, sloppy seconds. FS1 is essentially ESPN sloppy seconds. Skip Bayless, Marcellus Wiley, who's no longer there, who we'll also get to in a moment. You have various others like Chris Broussard. These are all people that were ESPN, but they got knocked off the curb by ESPN, and then they all settled in at Fox Sports 1, right? And just on the Skip Bayless front, first off, a married man who is the face of that company, who, Kory, makes $8 million, who was making, because he's no longer there, he got canned, who was making $8 million per year. He offered $1.5 million. So if I do some quick math, that's what, roughly 20-25% of his annual salary at
That's
Fox?
insane. That's insane right there. So quickly, Josh, before we get back to this, now he was let go. Do you think they knew this lawsuit was going to happen, get out there, and they were just trying to get rid of him prior to that?
Now that part's unclear. Now you have I mentioned Marcellus Wiley, who used to work for Fox and now he does his own thing on YouTube now. He said that really none of the things in the lawsuit, especially Taylor and Acho's relationship, surprised him. I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know whether that means Taylor was the workplace bop, as they call it. I don't know what any of that means. I don't know how much of that was out. I don't know how much of the stuff in the lawsuit was out there in terms of what was not public knowledge, but what was more commonly known in closer Fox circles. But this is crazy, bro. Like Kory, I guess you're gonna try to defend Skip Bayless or Joy Taylor or Emmanuel Acho or all the above.
I could have.
But
First off, I believe that the reason why he was fired is due in part is because he didn't just have that connection that he had with Shannon Sharp as with any of his other co-hosts that tried to come afterwards. And it kind of seemed like he was trying to have this plan on where it's like, I'm white, you're black, let's have this debate show. And it's like, bro, you're getting Paul Pierce, you're getting Keyshawn Johnson, getting just any other black person, and you're not addressing the real problems that is going on with the show. The show
well,
is not hot no more.
that's besides the point on this, though.
No. I was just talking about why he got fired, I believe. And then once you take into account now, he is married, and he always talks about his wife. Like, I know about Ernestine because how much he talks about her, and so it's just kind of very disturbing that with these allegations that's coming out. And with Marcellus Wiley, he kind of gave a very introspective look onto it because of the fact is, early last year, he was brought up upon sexual harassment charges as well.
Yes.
And so he had to look at it from.
And by the way, those got all thrown out. By the way,
from an internal perspective, and so he could have like a different gaze at this. But what I noticed, he said, there's been rumblings of those things that are in the lawsuit. I've heard those things prior to, like, about her and Acho and things of that nature. And then people question, how does a former bartender, get that high rank, even though her brother is Jason Taylor, who was a former Miami Dolphin.
Repeat that point, though. Repeat that point, because not a lot of people know that Joy Taylor is the sister of Jason Taylor, who is this great pass rusher for the Dolphins all those
Hall of Famer.
Who was a Hall of Famer pass rusher for the Miami Dolphins. So she does there's been a lot of people who got in just because of the people that they're related to. So I'm not just gonna put that on that and say that she's like, how people are painting this narrative that she slept her way to the top. But I believe, though, the problem is that, and you said you read the 42 pages, is there seems to be a lot of corroborating evidence that backs Nasheem's stories. So I think that it's going to be very damning. And then when you look at those videos of Acho saying, Joy Taylor is this phenomenal, astronomical woman. Do you not know how hard it is for a woman to be this? He said, I'm like, she's the best woman in any shape, way. And I'm like, brother, you are going too hard. Whatever she laid on, you must have been crazy work. And so just to get back on point. So yeah, all these allegations seem very damning. The one thing that I can say, though, that I'm happy about is the fact that Shannon Sharp is not involved in this. He said, my name Bennett and I ain't in it. But I don't like the fact that he's being very petty about it on the show. It's like when him and Chad Johnson got to a little argument, he said, it's my turn, in a sense, mocking Shannon Sharp's situation. I mean, Skip Bayless' situation. But have you noticed that everybody's no-selling this situation? Nobody's saying anything. They're acting as if everything is going on, like, right as long. Because even when that lawsuit came out, you had Skip tweeting about the Cowboys and tweeting about playoffs and all stuff. So I'm like, brother, you got very more concerning things to be worried about.
Yeah, Justin, that's the funniest part about this. And I'll try to pull these videos up in a moment. When it comes to the people named in this lawsuit that are still doing on-air stuff at Fox Sports, when it comes to Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Acho, you would think, like, I wasn't sure, because this all came down on a Sunday, like I said. I wasn't sure how all this was going to work in terms of all of them reporting to their shows, because Acho is on in the morning. I believe his show is called The Facility. Mm-hmm. And then Joy Taylor's show comes on in the afternoon, and that's called Speak. So I was like, how are they going to possibly work and be on these shows with this lawsuit hanging over? So here's Joy Taylor on Speak on Monday. So she did report to work, which it honestly surprised me, but here's how this went as far as just the intro that I have here. And while you watch this, just note the awkward energy in the room.
Welcome to Speak. I'm Joy Taylor here with Keyshawn Johnson, Paul Pierce, and the playmaker Michael Irvin. It's Victory Monday for some and Vacation Monday for us.
First off, the social distancing here, and I ain't talking
It's
COVID.
crazy.
I have this saying, like, body language will tell you more than any other language will ever tell you.
They're like,
Man.
they like, brother, I'm not about to catch a case for nobody. No, my name Bennett. My name Bennett, and I ain't in it. You got name on Joy Taylor might as well got the cooties. But brother,
Cooties, he says.
I got too much to lose.
I could make a joke, but God is working on me.
Others, but for the ones who did have Victory Monday,
Kick them on the way out the door. Go on.
Michael.
Vacation, real vacations for some of them too, Joy, because some of them ain't coming back.
Exactly. Who's walking around like the man on Monday,
You
Michael?
caught that, huh? You caught that. You caught that one.
On the way out the door. Go on.
Michael.
Vacation, real vacations for some of them too, Joy, because some of them ain't coming back.
Exactly.
Why you looking at her like that? He's saying it.
Oh man, like it's for all of us that work. I mean, us three, all three of us that work at a radio station. We are no secret, or we are no strangers, I should say, to awkward work situations. But yeah, I couldn't imagine what it was like in those Fox Sports 1 dressing rooms, those locker rooms, those break rooms, those lounges on that Monday morning and throughout the rest of the week. Like, I couldn't imagine, because that lawsuit, like all the stuff we're discussing here, if you really read through it, it don't even scratch the surface. Because Skip Bayless, it wasn't just the offer to this FARAJI $1.5 million to change her life. That was a quote from Skip in this lawsuit. Quote, change her life. I'll change your life with this money.
Well, that sound like a line of Pep used to say when he's trying to recruit a female. Like, baby, come here. I can change your life. Come with me.
Because that's what simps do. Like, I don't know why Skip crashed out like this. And actually, no, I shouldn't say that, because I know exactly why. Kory,
Yeah.
you can stop me if you think I'm making an overreaching like correlation here.
Mm-hmm.
But Skip Bayless, the man who, when he was a columnist, a Cowboys columnist, a Dallas Cowboys columnist, wrote a book that included a baseless rumor that Troy Aikman was gay.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Skip Bayless started. Not a lot of people know that. Then,
that was later in his career. But
as far as him working for the Dallas Cowboys,
yeah, he had like a whole career before that, covering the Bulls.
I'm okay. He did, but I'm just talking in reference to before or pre ESPN.
Okay, yeah,
because 95% of people know Skip Bayless from ESPN and First Take.
Yeah.
So you had that. That's how his big blow up started. Not how his career started. His big blow up started to happen as a national name. I remember Deion Sanders grilling him on that, because Deion and Troy Aikman were teammates at the time. They were Cowboys teammates, and Deion was pressing him about how could you just include a baseless rumor like that in your book. And Skip does, like, I stand by it. All right, move on to ESPN, First Take. You know what I mean? And again, I aspire to be a journalist, and that means fact checking and telling the stories in an accurate way. Skip Bayless, a columnist, journalist, great writer. You know what I mean? He goes on to First Take, and what does he do on First Take? Kory knows better than anybody. He says stuff like, Tim Tebow over Aaron Rodgers. You know what? I'll take Tim Tebow over Tom Brady in the clutch. Oh, Johnny Manziel, he'll be bigger than LeBron ever was in Cleveland.
You throwing out the greatest and latest. You giving us.
This is the shit he said. This is the shit he has said that he knows damn well. And people close to Skip will always say, like, oh, he believes the things he says. I'm sorry. You can't be like, you can't be neurotypical and say stuff like Tom Brady. Yeah, I'd rather have Tim Tebow in the clutch and be dead ass. Like, I'm sorry, there's either something severely wrong with you or you're cat. You're just playing it up for the cameras.
It's
and for the
programs
ratings.
it's programs like that and takes like that. It's just like made me not watch ESPN anymore because they've taken that whole formula of one guy saying something so stupid and then the other guy having to argue with it. And there's just no coverage of actual sports anymore. It's just hot take after hot take. And Skip is pretty much the godfather of that.
He sure is. And again, this is why I say if I'm overreaching with this one, stop me or check me. But a man that built or not built his career, as Kory said, because he was a columnist for a lot of renowned teams like the Bulls and the Cowboys in the 90s. Like, you can't get bigger than that. So, but with that being said, a man that built his career off shamelessly, I'll say it, whoring out for ratings and clicks and just saying whatever and being a disgrace to journalism and not really having a lot of integrity on that front. I'm not surprised when in your career, like what makes your life, if you lack integrity in one way, you're going to lack it in a lot of other areas in your life. And not just the offer of money, 1.5 million, but the sexual harassment while Miss FARAJI was working on Skip Bayless's hair and makeup like all the TV guys get their stuff worked on.
You know,
Skip,
we talked
Skip
about
pressed up against her breasts, and that's in that lawsuit, and it was very weird stuff. Very weird stuff. I'm not gonna hold you.
We talked about the Drake Bell situation early on in one of our shows. Maybe when that whole program came out on HBO.
Quiet on set.
And I said then, like, you could get away with stuff like that 10, 15 years ago easily. And now with the whole Me Too movement, and we've seen big names, much bigger names than Skip Bayless. We're talking guys like John Lasseter, who was the head of Disney for the most part, like, the head operations of Disney. Guys like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby. You would think, I would have thought by now in 2025 now that people would be smart enough to not do this because you're just never going to get away with it. But they're not. They're just not going to stop, it seems like.
Justin, literally, Vince McMahon is the same thing as Skip Bayless in a sense where it's like he basically paid, he's tricking. He tried to pay for play, basically. In the sum of $14 million. That's kind of crazy.
The crazy thing with McMahon is if he actually did pay, none of that would have come out. He just didn't pay.
Yeah, he reneged on his NDAs.
Yeah, so Skip hasn't commented on this because I did go to his YouTube channel because that's what he's doing now. He does stuff online. And I was expecting maybe some sort of comment, but obviously lawyers have spoken to him, and he's probably not going to address it, which he probably shouldn't. I'm shocked he hasn't taken a nap like Hawktua Girl. She napped for like 3 weeks.
That's the thing, though.
At the coin?
Yeah, she's hibernating.
That's the thing, though. It seems to be the strategy, like I said, for all the players in this lawsuit, or all the defendants, I should say. From Taylor to Acho to Skip, it's a funny little contrast because Taylor, Acho, and Bayless have said nothing. They've just gone to work as usual, like nothing's going on, like the sky's blue, grass is green. We just gonna go to work, do our thing, go home.
Got to no-sell it, brother.
But on the other hand, everybody else, like their media counterparts, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, like we talked about, Marcellus Wiley, they've all discussed it on their projects. So it's like, so the people involved, like you said, Justin, maybe their lawyers are like, yo, this is just how it is. Like, you know how they say when you get like jumped on Twitter, like, oh, tweet through it. People forget about it in like 3 days. That's what they're doing. They're just working through it, working through the slander, working through the bad press. They're just going to work, acting like nothing's going on.
With Skip, it's got to be a lot easier in the sense that, I mean, this girl Taylor, she's still at Fox. She's
right,
working with people. Skip does the show by himself. He just does a YouTube channel. I'm sure he has some people that work for him and upload the videos for him. But I couldn't imagine going to the scene of the crime, essentially, is where this woman is working. But also, I mean, let's put it out there. Do I think this happened? Yes, but you never know. I mean, we've seen it countless times where people are, accused of something which didn't happen. I'm not saying that happened with this instance, but I would like to see, it go to court if it has to go to court.
As far as like the credibility, and yeah, there's reasonable. There's reason to think sometimes, hey, not everybody with the case and not everything is what it seems to be, because the fact is, literally in the lawsuit, Nasheen alleges that Joy Taylor, she said if she was get fired, she was just claiming that the executive, I forgot what's his name, is it Charlie like Dixon?
Dixon.
She would claim that he pressed himself against, like basically pushed himself onto her. So she would have claimed that.
That's why I said at the start, and then we kind of got sidetracked, that Taylor and Acho's relationship, and again, people have their opinions about sex in the workplace. Like, there's that phrase, don't shit where you eat, right? And there's a lot of reasons for that. So that's why I said that's the least salacious thing in this lawsuit as it pertains to Taylor. Because, like I said at the start also, for a woman to tell another woman allegedly that, oh yeah, get over it. And yeah, if he tries to come after me, because FARAJI said in this lawsuit, like, yo, what are you going to do if you cut off the relationship and he retaliates against you by firing you or, making things real hard for you at work? She said, oh yeah, no, I'll just accuse him of rape and say that he forced himself on me. That's crazy. That's insane. And the sad thing is, we all know about some of the things that women have to deal with in sports media. A very male dominated field, and it's tough to get a lot of recognition. And when you do, a la, like, so I hate to call names out to defend them, but Taylor Rooks or somebody like that, attractive, smart, intelligent woman that people just they whittle their success down to, oh, they're sleeping their way to the top. Yeah, they're sleeping with the athletes, they're sleeping with the owners or GMs or whatever. Like, this is what they get. So it's just sad that this is now in a lot of people's minds, and it shouldn't be. I think this is just if true, an isolated incident of just, I'm sure nobody's perfect, but I'm sure this is just like, okay, Joy Taylor was wilding it. She was wilding it at a place that was not a serious place. You know what I mean? I doubt, and I hope I'm right about this, I doubt that a lot of this is going on at ESPN to this extent, to where where women are accused of sleeping their way to the top. I'm not talking work relationships. I'm going to smash an executive, for lack of a better phrase, to get on this show or get on this platform.
Talking about allegedly, you remember there was some was it Rachel Nicholson? Some rumors. Oh,
I know what you're gonna bring up. That was a rumor. Like, that was the whole Jimmy Butler stuff. Like, that's internet rumor, new age stuff. I don't even know. I doubt that's even founded on anything. Like, Rachel Nichols, I know she had her outs from ESPN, but it wasn't for Jimmy Butler. It was for the Maria Taylor stuff.
I mean, and then you got some people that say that Molly Qerim, Stephen A.
But again, these are all rumors. Like, until I see a lawsuit asserted that they're gonna have to take to court, I don't know. People make up internet rumors all the time, bro.
Maybe my son Stephen A got a lot of more pee than a lot of people think.
That's your point, and you sticking to it.
He may got a lot of he may be a player out there, because she was with Jalen Rose. They were married,
right? Yeah, they got married. She changed her name and everything.
He was at that time an ESPN employee.
I'm gonna move on. I think we've said our piece, but just to put a bow on it.
Can I just say one last thing?
Go ahead, Kory.
One of the reasons why I feel like I'm defending Joy Taylor is because part of me just don't want to believe it. Not Joy. Not Joy. You know when you see something like when you see like a bad female, you're like, nah, please tell me she ain't like that.
It's It's when you've seen this girl for a while, and then all of a sudden you find out that she kind of a bop, and you're like,
Nah. I'm
nah,
like, nah.
couldn't be. No. Then all of a sudden you like, oh my god, my Shayla. Like,
Where that name came
it's all
from?
bad.
That name. Hey, you come from experience, boy?
Huh?
You got some experience in that department?
It sounds like you projecting, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
You just came up with a random name. I'm
It's a viral meme, bro. It's a viral meme. I'm not about to explain memes to you live on the show, bro. I'm not about to do that. All right.
You know I'm old, so you might have to. I'm old. I'm a millennial.
Yeah, you said it, not me. Just to put a bow on everything, some of the most salacious claims in this lawsuit. Yeah, so according to FARAJI's allegations, Bayless spent years making sexual advancements towards her. This included, quote, lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breasts. At one point during a haircut, Bayless referred to FARAJI as, quote, voluptuous, end quote. With English being her second language, FARAJI was not familiar with the term. Per the filing, Mr. Bayless seemed amused and told her to figure it out. FARAJI later asked a coworker what the word meant and was mortified. What else do we have here? Bayless made a racist remark towards FARAJI. When Bayless made another advance at Miss FARAJI responded, "Skip, stop, you have a wife," who Kory mentioned earlier is named Ernestine. Bayless responded, "Aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives?" Miss FARAJI responded that her father was dead. And when Mr. Bayless looked taken aback, she made an excuse to leave. Oof. Yes, Fox executive Charlie Dixon gave Joy Taylor Undisputed as a reward for having sex with him. That's alleged in this lawsuit. Also alleged Dixon groping FARAJI, the plaintiff, at a party. Taylor told her to get over it, like we mentioned. Dixon fired a female talent member for refusing to have sex with him. Dixon paid off Taylor's then fiance, former NBA player Earl Watson, in exchange for silence about the relationship. Taylor again uses her sexuality to get on a show, and FARAJI targeted for her ethnicity.
Can I just say a quick thing? Yeah, I do remember when Joy Taylor was engaged to Earl Watson, because I remember him being surrounded. I mean, he was closely associated with the Ball brothers back in like 2018, right?
Whoa.
So I'm like, okay, so I'm just following up with him, and then like out of nowhere, it was like him and Joy Taylor engagement off. I'm like, what? What happened? It was kind of weird.
And
now I know.
Now
it all makes sense.
We see the full picture. We see it all very, very clearly. Kory, would you like to hear from Jason Whitlock on the subject?
I know what I'm capable of. And that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly, it's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Like, Jay, keep your distance.
My boy, you were not getting that. You couldn't get that. Yeah, I'm telling you. In the great words of LeVar Ball, the only thing that Jason Whitlock is expert in is snacks. That's the only thing he can talk about.
That's such a great quote to this day.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. You know he is the official meme of like, Joy Taylor was getting passed around by everybody, but not you, my God.
Yeah, it's a classic case of like when an incel will be like, well, when a girl gets outed for something, or maybe something bad happens to her, or she's caught up in a scandal. It's like, oh yeah, I'm smart though. I kept my distance. I knew better than to get involved with that big rack and that peanut butter skin. Nah, Jason Whitlock's too good for that, bro. You're not Jason. Stop.
Jason, tell the truth. You gotta tell the truth about Jason Whitlock. You're not married. You don't got no kids. Brother, nobody wanted you. Nobody wants you.
Yeah. Do you think that's a thing, Kory? If you're unmarried by a certain age, like, because people just don't want to get married. Like, I've talked to many people that's like, yeah, I'm good on that. Like, you think that's like? I don't think that's a red flag in terms of.
No, I just think so. I just don't think son. I don't think son is like that. Like, he don't pull. My son don't. If Jason Whitlock, if I ever found out in this world that Jason Whitlock is pulling him, I don't know. I might just walk off a cliff. I'm like, ain't no way, bro.
Well,
Ain't
let's
no way.
be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you don't have
Okay.
to say it. I mean, good Lord.
I'm like,
You're not wrong, but you ain't have to say it. You ain't have
Joy
to say
Taylor was not gonna rock with your Jabba the Hutt looking ass.
it. Jabba the Hutt. Wow, that's a.
So don't make it seem like your circumstances was a choice. You had no choice in the matter. Yo, God blessed you with your choice. You wasn't getting no play, my guy.
Kory, you have any more words for Jason Whitlock before we move on? It seems like you're cutting a promo on, bro.
Nah, because he tried to go at Shannon Sharp, like, Shannon Sharp. He tried to basically implicate Shannon Sharp without implicating him.
Well,
basically saying, basically calling Shannon Sharp the Diddy of the FS1 floor.
Well, we know that's.
I'm like, yeah, nah.
Not Unk.
Nah, because he tried to leave a breadcrumb. He tried to leave a breadcrumb and like, look at what happened at CBS. Look at what actually why he really left. He basically tried to gaslight you into thinking that Shannon Sharp had more to involved in this case than he actually does.
I'm not the biggest fan of Shannon Sharp per se, but he gets a lot of jealousy, whether it's from his media rivals, like a Skip Bayless, as it's mentioned in this lawsuit. Bayless accused FARAJI of sleeping with Shannon Sharp and not him. Like, why would you do that? He gets a lot of hate from a lot of places. We all know about what Antonio Brown be saying about him on CT ESPN. Like, Shannon Sharp gets a lot of hate. I think we need to take it easy, although he is cap about that IG Live. Bro, you did not accidentally go on IG Live. You have to press like 3 buttons to go on IG Live. That was not an accident. That was not an accident.
I wouldn't know. I've never been on IG Live.
Right.
Do you guys like Antonio Brown or no? I'm assuming no.
Do I like Antonio Brown? What about you, Kory? Do you like Antonio Brown?
Nah, I'm not the biggest fan of Antonio Brown.
Kory's been playing a pretty professional today. I'm not going front. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of Antonio Brown.
Did you see his award? Did you see his award show?
I'm looking to win Cracker of the Year next year. So I'm gonna say nothing bad about Antonio.
I think you got a good shot, bro.
Yeah.
I think you got a good chance.
Hey, I think Pat McAfee won funniest Cracker of the Year.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Shane Gillis won one of them.
Yes. What about Le'Veon Bell? I know Le'Veon Bell won one. I don't know which one that was. Le'Veon Bell, another lost cause.
He was great though, man.
He was they all was great on the field, like without question. Yeah. Speaking of on the field, listen, week 18 just passed. Kory's mentioning to is what does your speaker not work? What's going on? Kory, what's the problem? All right, that explains that. All right, Justin, it's just us for now. So, a lot of talk's been had about Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen for MVP. Who's your favorite in terms of that?
I would think it's Josh Allen just on a few things. Lamar having 2 of them already, and I know that could play into it. Is that fair? No, but it's sort of like the Jordan rule. A different Jordan rule in the NBA back in the day. Jordan probably should have won the MVP every single year he was playing basketball, but he just didn't because they want to spread it out. So for that instance, I could see Josh Allen getting it. I mean, if you look statistically, Allen isn't as good as Lamar, but the big elephant in the room is Lamar has a far better team. I mean, Derrick Henry. I mean, everyone thought that Josh Allen was losing all of that talent. That was the big thing going into this year. The Bills have lost all their main, weapons. And for him to do what he's doing, having that number 2 seed as well is a big thing. Beating the number 1 seed in the AFC and the NFC. I'm going with Josh Allen on this one. I think he's going to win, and I think he deserves it. I'm not going to be upset if Lamar wins it, though.
Look, I'll agree. I do think that Josh is going to win it because of what they call voter fatigue. I feel like Lamar Jackson could win it any year that he is playing because that's just how good he is. So I think they're going to give him. I think they're going to give Josh Allen one just to suffice. But to say that Josh Allen has the weaker team, I remember Lamar Jackson multiple years didn't have receivers, and he actually, if we're being honest, he actually makes do with a little less, because if you look at his receiving core, I believe the Ravens are one of the receiving cores that leads the league in drop passes.
They are.
Yeah, but the point I was making was going into this season, most of the talk about the Bills was they've lost more than that they've gained, and the fact that Allen put on his best season on what should have been a down year in a lot of people's minds, I think is going to benefit him. And just the record, in theory, I mean, you could put somebody, for just talking about play, you look at a guy like Joe Burrow. He's never going to be in the discussion because the team didn't make the playoffs, but in the NFL, it's so much more important. Like Major League Baseball, you can have a guy like Trout win MVP, even though his team doesn't make the playoffs. In football, it really matters if you have that number 1 or number 2 seed. And the fact that the Bills are the number 2 seed, I think will benefit as well, like I mentioned.
I wonder if they're going to put into consideration the head-to-head matchup that they had.
That's the other elephant in the room. Lamar did beat him, head-to-head. But the fact that, you beat the Lions, you beat the Chiefs, those are, one of the few Chiefs losses of the year with Josh Allen right there. So,
hey, the Baltimore Ravens did show up regardless of all that conversation, and that's the big elephant in the room. I just had to get into that conversation before we moved on to anything else. The Ravens clinched the AFC North, beating the Cleveland Browns. The Browns have the second pick in the draft. They'll pick a quarterback. They're done with Deshaun Watson. You can already see it in some of the reports that are starting to come out.
What a bad franchise. The worst franchise in my lifetime, the Cleveland Browns.
That contract is the worst in sports
history. Worst. It's the worst.
The worst.
There's going to be a 30 for 30 on that contract.
I'm not going to lie. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't want to sound like a Deshaun Watson apologist here. Please don't mistake that for what this is about to be.
Okay, so that's a great preface to whatever you're going to say.
Put on that disclaimer, Josh.
You should, exactly. You still need to tread lightly. Yeah, let me get this disclaimer up on the screen. Yes. Now you're good, Kory. Go ahead.
Like, ever since he signed that contract and since he wanted to leave Cleveland, since he wanted to leave Houston, and all these cases came about, I feel as though this has mentally been taxing on Deshaun. So his head has not been in the game these last couple years. And then with the whole Jay-Z thing coming about, and it seemed like just follow me. And it seemed like Tony Busby, might not be on the up and up on a lot of things. It might be an ambulance chase Lloyd type guy. I'm like, maybe he can try to repair his image. I think he can. I wouldn't necessarily abandon Deshaun just yet.
Just time out. Now, that all sounds well and good until you remember, Kory, that Deshaun Watson had 25 accusers. 25, and he settled all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. I'm not going to give Deshaun Watson no rope.
No. He ain't had Alex Shapiro. You ever been in a situation like, all right, we've seen it multiple times where, like, okay, a guy who's not as well off, right? He's getting interrogated by the cops or whatever. He might plead to something that necessarily could get him less time because he feels as though it's more indicative. Jay-Z fought it. I feel like Deshaun just wanted to get this swept under the rug, and he settled and tried to get this. No. 25 people accuse you of sexual assault. It's not no sweep under the rug. I'm not settling shit if I'm innocent.
It's crazy that the team would offer him what he was offered. If he was going to get an offer, you think it would be the league minimum. I just don't understand what the Browns were thinking of betting the entire franchise on this guy. I know the talent shouldn't outweigh the 25 allegations. Yes, he's very talented, but
I believe when Deshaun Watson was done with Houston, Atlanta was going to make Atlanta made almost a similar offer. They were trying to get him, so the Cleveland Browns didn't want to lose out on him, so they matched whatever it was that he wanted. It was a bidding war.
Well, Kory, thank you for the Deshaun Watson update, bro. Appreciate you. Once again, if everybody watching, take that disclaimer under consideration at the bottom.
I'm just saying, I don't think they go quarterback. I don't think they go quarterback because there's only two quarterbacks that you think about in this draft. Cam Ward and Shador, and I don't see them taking.
Which one are you taking first at this point?
I think Tennessee is going to take Cam.
That's not what I asked. Which one would you take?
Cam.
I'm taking Cam too. He's faster than Shador, better armed than Shador, more of a creator than Shador.
My takeaway was from the bowl game. He didn't face the craziest competition, but at the time that he was in, he did produce numbers. When Shador was going up against BYU, he didn't produce, and I just didn't feel as confident as him in the quarterback position.
Giants have the third pick, bro. Your New York Giants. What you think they do with that?
I have no idea. It will be interesting. I would say go get maybe Travis, but I think you need way more help on offensive line and defensive line than you need in the secondary.
So you don't think they're going to be able to get a quarterback this draft?
No, I think there's probably some solid quarterbacks in here. You could trade back and acquire more picks, and then pick a quarterback up in the later rounds, like a Quinn Ewers or Jalen Milroe, who might be a project, and you bring in a free agent quarterback to kind of bridge that gap.
Is there any regret as a Giants fan, Kory, about the team going with Malik Neighbors over what you've seen Bo Nix do all season long? What you've seen Michael Penix Jr. do all season long? Well, not all season long, but to close out the season here.
If there's anybody who I'm salty we did not get trade up to try to win, it was Jaden Daniels.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they would have loved to, and Drake May, by the way, but you got to the other team got it. Well, you don't think Drake May is him? What? This is Justin. This is so fictitious because Kory would be praising Drake May's name and kissing his feet if he was the Giants quarterback right now.
Yeah, but he's not though. No.
Oh, because he's a Patriot. It's like
all I know is he just got his coach fired. So
he got his coach fired.
Drake May was the reason that Gerard Mayo got fired. Of all the things going on with that franchise, it was Drake May's fault.
You already know it was all Drake May's fault. I'm sorry.
Once again, everybody pay attention to that disclaimer down at the bottom. This is getting crazy. It was Drake May's fault.
It was Drake May's fault. The reason that Gerard Mayo is no longer with the Patriots. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
All right, Mr. Trump. I mentioned earlier my New Orleans Saints had a very disappointing season, right? Hold on.
Oh,
now,
brother.
I'm not going to do the Skip Bayless.
They started off so good.
Slam it. I'm not going to slam it like Skip Bayless be doing the Cowboys jerseys in the trash.
You going to throw it in the trash? You going to throw it in the trash?
I'm not going to do this because this is my childhood team. Listen, Drew Brees, my guy. Sean Payton, I'm happy you're doing well in Denver, bro. Bounty Gate was not a crime. But listen, it's like Justin said, the season started out great, but
Josh, can I just put a disclaimer out to the listeners? This guy is from New York.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
He's a Saints fan from New York.
All right, Mr. Hornets fan in New York, Mr. Don't make me do the Philadelphia Eagles talk that they love giving you on the radio station. Don't make me do that. Don't make me do that.
Do not promote none of this woke nonsense. I am not a Philadelphia. I'm not a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and I am not a Hornets fan. I am a occasional viewer of LaMelo Ball.
You know, as far as the Saints, Kory, I can excuse a lot. You know what I mean? I can excuse bad football. I can excuse a coach firing. I can excuse a narcissist at quarterback in Derek Carr. I can excuse all of that. But I can't excuse bitch. What I watched at the end of that Saints-Bucks game that the Bucks had to win to get into the playoffs. Bucks were up 27-19 with 30 seconds left. Saints didn't have the timeouts. Bucks are going to win. But Mike Evans, this 1,000-yard streak. Mike Evans, the great Mike Evans, 1,000 yards in every single season of his career. He had 995 with this last play. Now, you would expect the team to go victory formation to clinch the playoffs, but nah. I have to watch the Buccaneers have the nuts to line up, run a play, throw the ball, and get Mike Evans the last catch to get 1,000 yards. And the Saints just let it happen. How do you, as the head coach of the Saints, not just put all 11 guys on Mike Evans? You know what they're going to do. Why else are they lining up to run a play?
It's a Strahan Clark situation.
Yo, man, I can excuse losses. Mark Gastineau, right?
Yeah.
I can excuse losses. I can't excuse bitch. I can't excuse bitch. I can't do it.
Hey, shout out to the Saints in Tampa Bay. You know, I had a parlay with them, and they came through. They came through on my parlay.
I'm so happy for you, bro. I'm so happy for you, bro. But yes, back to the NFC South. The Buccaneers clinched. The Falcons got took. Oh, excuse me. The Falcons and Michael Penix Jr., as Kory puts it. They were in the blah blah blah. They were in an overtime battle with the Carolina Panthers. Yo, I'm so glad I did not sell my Bryce Young stock.
Hey,
because that kid is hooping. That kid is hooping.
Now, can I just say this though? Unlike the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game and Saints game that I praise for, helping my parlay, it is totally fuck Carolina Panthers and the Falcons. You ruined my ticket, you assholes. Sorry.
Oh, take it easy, man. What happened, Kory? What went wrong?
Bro, all the Falcons had to do was just hold out. Just hold out. You had it. You had to win in your back pocket. I'm sorry.
Kory. What was the bet?
I'm going back. It was $14,000. $14,000. I feel like Mick Foley right now. $14,000.
What was the did you have the money line? Did you spread that?
Yes.
What happened?
Yes, I had the money line. Bro, everything was hitting.
You had the Falcons money line.
Yes. Yo, everything was hitting. Yo, I had Bucky Irvin to score a touchdown. I had Ray Davis to score a touchdown. Do you know how hard it is to predict Ray Davis is going to score a touchdown? Oh my God, bro. You don't know. I had the ticket all lined up perfectly just for these souls to sell. They sold on me.
Kory, man, listen, I'm not going to tell you to dial the hotline. I'm not going to do that to you. You're a grown man. You make your own decisions. But you've heard me. Okay. I know I don't know everything with sports. I think I'm pretty knowledgeable. I know a lot of the historical context of things, right? When it comes to the Atlanta Falcons and winning time, whether that's, they got to win to get into the playoffs.
Well, I feel like some Saints haters coming in.
No, you can call it hate, whatever you want, but history backs me on this. I'm not my team's not the one that blew a 25-point second half Super Bowl lead. That wasn't my team. That was the Falcons. When it comes to the Atlanta Falcons, when it comes to winning time, when you need them to prosper for you, or they need to prosper for themselves, Kory, it happens every time. They fold. You have to know this if you're putting your hard-earned money on them. You have to know this.
Bro, I was so sick. I'm like, I had it lined up and everything. I was right there. I felt like Justin, you watched that? You watched the animated Spider-Man episodes, right?
Yeah.
Back in the 90s.
Yes.
Remember the scene? Remember the scene where like Mary Jane turned into water and Peter Parker was like, "No!" watching my ticket just evaporate like that.
Sorry to hear, bro. Once again, shout out the Washington Commanders. They are the 6th seed in the NFC. They beat the Cowboys while the Packers.
Sing the song.
Left hand up. Who are we? The Commander.
Commanders.
The Packers lost to the Bears on a last-second field goal. You know, I know the Packers are done because the Bears, who have just fucked up late clock management situation after late clock management situation, the Packers let it happen. They finally let the Bears get something done in the clutch in winning time. Yeah, so the Packers will be the 7th seed. They're gonna play the Philadelphia Eagles. That is a BTA status. That is belt two cheeks waiting for it.
We don't know yet because Jalen Hurts is, I don't know. Did he come back? Was he cleared yet?
Is this the new universal sign for concussions?
To me, targeted.
You should do the Tua hands.
Yeah,
oh no.
Yeah, I believe Kory lost a parlay on that too as well earlier in the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, speaking of injuries with quarterbacks, Jordan Love, he's saying he's hopeful to play. So
I think both quarterbacks will play.
Yeah.
But the Eagles, even if the Eagles have to play Kenny Pickett, like I know the Packers pride themselves on being a run the football play action team, but the Eagles' offensive and defensive line, like the Eagles in the trenches, they're different. We saw what Saquon Barkley did behind that offensive line all season long.
I'm really not sold on any NFC team besides the Eagles at this point. You know, you would have said the Lions a few weeks ago, but so many injuries. Their defense is terrible at this point. The Vikings, you know, listen, as good as Sam Darnold has been this year, I'm not going to put my money in a Sam Darnold Super Bowl berth. I'm not fully sold on Jalen Hurts, but I'll take that Eagles squad over anyone in the NFC.
No, I do not trust the Eagles. I trust the NFC North more than I trust the Eagles. That's why I feel like your NFC champion is going to come out from the NFC North, not the NFC East, the NFC least, as I call it. Philly has a lot of problems that still concern me. The secondary still concerning to me. Their pass rush is now. Yes, Saquon can get you those yards, but there's been multiple occasions where Saquon hasn't really, gotten to that rhythm. And Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, to me, this is just to me, I feel as though he has regressed.
Oh yeah, I don't think Hurts is the reason why I'm sold on the Eagles. It's definitely not Hurts.
It's funny you bring up the Lions, Justin, and the Vikings. Obviously, that game was so hyped up, right? You had it was a historic game when you just look at the combined amount of wins that the Lions and Vikings had. 2 14-win teams. Winner gets the 1 seed, loser gets the 5th seed, and has to be on the road throughout the playoffs. Like that's
just not fair. It's not fair.
I'm always a believer of you win your division. Like if you want things to be fair, win your division. But in that case, to that extreme, we've never seen it to that level of an extreme before, where it's
the Rams hosting a playoff game is crazy.
Yeah, the Rams and the Bucks both finished with the same record, kind of middling all season long.
And quickly on those two teams, I think anyone could win it. I wouldn't be shocked if we see the Rams in the NFC Championship game at all.
I would.
I just don't think, like in the AFC, I think it's defined like it's going to be the Bills, it's going to be the Chiefs, or it's going to be, the Ravens. But I think in my opinion, I think in the NFC, I could see any of these teams, maybe not the Packers, but everyone else sort of, making a run.
What the Rams have to hope for is that the Packers upset the Eagles, because then they'd be the lower seed and they'd avoid Detroit. They will go to play Philly, and we'll see. I don't know.
The Rams are really hot. I mean, they were one of the hottest finishes in football for sure.
I like Detroit still, even with their injuries, I mean, even Alex Anzalone coming back was a big deal for them, and we saw it on Sunday. Sam Darnold, though, Kory, like storybook season, bro. Like Sam Darnold taking the Vikings.
He getting paid. He getting paid this offseason.
He is 14 wins. You know what I mean? Like Renaissance
I'm happy
season
for the
for
kid.
him.
I'm happy for him. He always handled himself well in New York, which is the hardest place to play football.
You notice two guys are doing very well since getting out of their situations. Baker, Sam, both potentially both going to the playoffs.
I'm just saying, as far as Sam Darnold, like storybook season, but for it to end like that in the regular season, he completed 18 passes in 41 attempts.
Well, you gotta know what Sam Darnold.
166 on the yardage. No touchdowns, no picks. He was seeing ghosts out there again.
Look, I hate to say it, and this has always been my criticism about the Vikings, and when people talk about them to me, since you never know what Sam Darnold you're going to get. You could get the one that's playing phenomenal this year, who was the USC quarterback, or you could get the one that was the New York Jets quarterback and who was just absolutely ass. Sometimes, as somebody once said, sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be shitty.
So who do you think the Rams get? Which Sam Darnold do the Rams get, Kory?
I think he just played his worst game, so he has to bounce back. So I think he'll give him his one of the better games. And I think what's going to happen is, because I've seen it on the broadcast, they're going to incorporate Justin Jefferson more. It seems to be that Justin Jefferson was frustrated on the sideline. He wants to be more involved. I think he wants to feel more like, Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is one of the integral parts of the Bengals offense. And I feel as though Justin Jefferson wants to take that leadership role and be that guy.
I feel so bad for the Vikings. I was mentioning how miserable the Browns franchise is, but the Vikings have like the most heartbreaking losses, I feel like. Going back to that 1998 NFC Championship game. Ooh. What about the Super Bowls? I mean, Fran Tarkenton, I believe, lost 4 Super Bowls back in the day. They've never won the big game. They haven't been there since Fran Tarkenton. So they're always contenders, but they always have those miserable last-second field goal misses type of losses. So I like to pull for cities like that haven't won. I feel bad for Detroit. I feel bad for Minnesota. I feel bad for Buffalo. The losses that those organizations have had to go through.
Back in 1998, didn't their kicker, it was Gary Anderson. Wasn't he
perfect
throughout
the regular season? Yeah.
And then shit the bed in the playoffs.
We could have got an Elway versus, Randy Moss Super Bowl, except then we got the crappy Falcons, who were fun, Jamal Anderson, the Dirty Bird, but that Super Bowl was trash. Could have been a classic with Randall Cunningham getting to his only Super Bowl versus John Elway. Come on.
I'm in agreement with that. Before we move on, Kory, we're going to break it up with some pop culture. We have like 25 minutes left. Did not want to go over 2 hours today, but the college football playoff. We have Penn State, Notre Dame, and Texas, Ohio State. You know what, Kory? Matter of fact, can you go run and find the Buck Rexington character for me? You can. We'll turn your we'll see if we can find where's this Buck at? Buck Rexington. He has some interesting comments on the radio about the college football playoff. Buck, are you there? Buck, where you at?
Yeah. Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Buck, good day to you, sir. How do you feel about Penn State and Notre Dame facing off? Two organizations, two colleges that have really never won the big game. All of a sudden, they're just in the Final Four of the college football playoff this year, in the expanded playoff.
I find it to be utter woke nonsense that these two teams are in the college football team because they were not irrelevant these prior years. Have you seen the fact that the SEC has been taken out due to NIL, and these players been able to get paid this much money, and this transfer portal? I want to see Bama in the playoffs. Where is Bama at? That's my problem.
Buck, I mean, Bama, wet their pants all season long. They're not going to be in the playoffs. What are you talking about?
Nobody gives a look, wait a second. We ain't no FCC. Nobody gives a flying fuck about Penn State. I'm sorry. Nobody gives one because
James Franklin won a big game, Buck. Come on, bro.
And Notre Dame and the Penn State hasn't been irrelevant since what was that coach name who got the scandal and had to leave in disgrace? What was his name again? Joe Paterno.
Joe Paterno, yeah. What about him?
They haven't been irrelevant since him. So the fact that you think that anybody gives a flying fuck about Penn State, and then Notre Dame. What happened the last time Notre Dame was in the national championship? Who was it against?
Your Bama boys. That's what
it was against Bama, baby. And what happened? They had Matt Tateo and his invisible girlfriend. What happened? What happened? The power of the SEC ran rushshot over college football. But now, with the transfer portal and the NIL, and these players are able to get paid, it has totally tarnished the SEC. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
Now, Buck, again, I get you're a traditionalist, right? You miss your country. You miss the way the game used to be, right?
I wish the game go back to a proper way.
I don't even want to know what that means, but I'll just continue with my question.
You know what that means.
I don't care to know, sir. But when it comes to the I'm not. The way things are now, like at what point are you gonna adjust? Because there is nil money, NIL money, name, image, and likeness money. There is the 12-team playoff. Matter of fact, what do you think about the 12-team playoff as a whole? Like, do you think it's a success? Like, listen, I know you're a Bama guy, but they had 12 slots and Bama didn't even get in, bro. Like, what we talking about?
Already now just giving participation trophies to everybody. Everybody can get it. You get a shot at the playoff. You get a shot at the playoff. It used to be just the best two teams going head to head. Mano e mano. None of this bullshit where everybody gets a chance to play in the playoffs. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. I believe in when there was a computer, the BCS Bowl used to just come up and you find the top two teams and they played. And that was it. Like I said, all this bullshit that's going on right now where everybody gets an opportunity, it's not me. It's not for me.
Mr. Rexington, who's your favorite player in college football?
My favorite player, absolute favorite player. I like Quinn Ewers. I like Quinn Ewers, and I like that. I like Arch Manning. Good. They have a good couple strappy young quarterbacks.
So you really believe Texas is going to take it then?
I believe they're the only SEC team left. So hook them horns, baby.
Wow. I mean, listen. Interesting insights, Buck. I mean, I don't know. I kind of like the 12-team playoff, but again, I'm a new age person. You know what I mean? I guess I'm just another example of utter woke nonsense. I don't know. I don't know how you feel.
Second, you kind of would like the college football playoffs, right?
Wait. My kind? What do you mean, my kind? What are you talking about?
I said you're kind of you young folks. What did you think I meant there?
I mean, you didn't specify. I had no idea. I didn't know what you meant by your kind. Like my mind went a couple.
You young folks. You young folks. You think you could just be handed everything?
Well, I mean, I think teams like Texas and Ohio State, if you look at what they've done in their games, like Ohio State in that Rose Bowl getting Oregon. Well, I'm saying like you now, Oregon, getting Oregon out of here.
That's the proper way to say it.
And that's what again, Rex?
What are you talking about?
The how you say Oregon? How is a real
Oregon?
That's how a real red-blooded American says Oregon.
Exactly. You're saying it wrong now. Saying it wrong now.
My fault. I gotta catch up to these things, bro. I haven't been around as long as you. All right. But yeah. You clearly got Texas taking it. You love Quinn Ewers for some reason. I thought you were gonna say somebody like, I don't know, a real star player like Jeremiah Smith. Travion Henderson. I mean, that's going to be a good matchup between Texas and them.
I mean, them boys can't. Them boys are good at running. I give them that. They're good at the positions that they play. They're good at running.
No, Buck. They're very skilled players. They're extremely skilled players. They don't just run around the field.
I mean, they're good. They're good position players, but they're playing their position. I'll just say it like that. They're playing their position.
Buck. I don't know, Buck. It seems kind of like coded language what you're using here, but I'll let you rock.
In what way? I'm saying the boy's a good receiver.
The boy's a good receiver. I mean, interesting verbiage once again, but you are who you are. You are who you are. No, I
can't take it. I gotta go. I gotta go. I can't say boy now. He's younger than me. So what else am I gonna call him?
I just think that it's you're walking a tightrope, but I feel you are who you are.
I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off this show and I'm gonna go get me a Hulk Hogan real American beer.
There you go. The Hulk Hogan stan himself, Buck Rexington, talking college football and the college football playoff with us. So that was hopefully we can get Kory back on the line. Always good to hear from Buck, right, Justin?
I had these back from everybody.
You missed
what I missed?
Buck Rexington called.
Yeah, wild.
Hey! Did you see what happened on last Friday?
No.
Enlighten the people, Kory. What happened?
Yo, just Josh, you was there. Yo, that guy, Buck Rexington, he went absolutely nuts. Yo, and if they gotta send you the audio. Josh gotta send you the audio. Oh, you gotta. Show? Yes, yeah. It was the craziest. It was the craziest show I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, Justin, we got to get into the lab and make some Buck Rexington, some intros and a promo.
I'm all for it.
Some liners. We got to get in the lab. Interesting character.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I was like this. I was like, he's gonna get us kicked off the air. He is gonna get us kicked off the air.
I think I just found my rival for Cracker of the Year potentially.
Yeah, I hate to say it, Justin. Buck is definitely the front runner.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. There's still time though. It's still early.
Yeah.
So
no.
Yes, Kory, go ahead.
I was just saying you got to listen to Sports Talk from last Friday.
I'll try. It's all saved on the Facebook page, so
you'll trust me. You'll be dying.
That conversation. You know what? I'll give the audience a little treat. I'll podcast that episode. I'll put it on the Recess Bell podcast feed.
Perfect.
This weekend they can go and listen to it. Buck Rexington making his Sports Talk debut. Yeah, they can go and listen to that for sure. Once again, the Recess Bell show. We are coming towards the end, but we're not done yet. Log on to the recessbell.com. Check out our original articles, sports articles, mental health articles, things of that nature. The Recess Bell on Instagram, X, TikTok, and YouTube. Find all our stuff, our shorts, our long form videos, our original content. Justin Greenberg, happy to have him. He is the architect and the engine of Film Reel, the movie review podcast. You know what I mean? That is one of the pillars of the platform. And I'm happy to have you here, Justin, because we're going to talk some Golden Globes. All right. I don't know if you caught the Golden Globes on Sunday. It's okay if you didn't.
I did not, but I saw my girl Nikki Glazer hosted, who I interviewed a few years ago. I was on her podcast. She had me on her podcast, and
she's the one who did the roast, right?
The Tom Brady roast.
The Tom Brady roast, and I was a part of her program maybe 2 years ago or so, and she was really nice. So I'm happy to see her success.
Yeah, no, she is. I do enjoy her as a comedian. I like her delivery. In the very, we're talking about male-dominated fields all show, but that's a male-dominated field, the comedian lane, and she's definitely finding her role and starring in it. So she hosted
to some of her monologue, and it seemed like she did tone it down a bit. You know, in the sense she wasn't going as hard as she would have on the Netflix special for Tom Brady roast. She was playing it. You know, she's in an industry where she has to play nice, and she really wasn't crapping on people as hard as I hope she would have.
Well, I have some video of her monologue. I'll pull up in a moment. But
Well,
yeah,
there's a
I can
host,
I can
Ricky
second that.
Gervais. Ricky Gervais, like maybe a decade ago, hosted and just eviscerated everybody. And
I think he
I don't
That
think
hosted
was
the
a
we'll ever have him
Oscars.
classic.
host.
That was a
He's
I think
classic.
great.
I think he hosted the. I think that was the Oscars, right?
It was one of the two Oscars or Golden Globes, but
Yeah, he just eviscerated Hollywood, just talking craziness.
yeah.
I say he's saying this in front of y'all. Y'all just laughing. And y'all have to laugh. You have to take
Yeah.
it.
Let's hear some pieces of Nikki Glazer's monologue. This is the first video I got.
Wicked, queer, night bitch. These are not just words Ben Affleck yells after he orgasms. These are
It's not bad.
some of the incredible movies nominated tonight. The Bear, The Penguin, Baby Reindeer. These are not just things found in RFK's freezer. These are TV shows nominated tonight.
That one I enjoyed, but this one I wanted to make a whole topic about. I'll see how you feel about this, Justin. It's a little subtle joke, but I'll explain in a
Some
moment.
absolute Hollywood legends. I mean, we have got some huge movie stars here tonight. Kate Winslet is here, Kate Blanchett, Colin Farrell. And let's not forget so many huge TV stars as well. Kate Winslet, Kate Blanchett, Colin Farrell.
So essentially, and I was talking to a friend about this yesterday as I was mapping the show out. And what she was saying was essentially that it's funny because the landscape, and Justin, as you host a movie review podcast, a film review podcast, you know this firsthand. The film culture from when it was in the 90s to early 2000s to where it is now is like vastly different. You have very few people, or a vast decrease in people going to the movie theaters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and you see a lot of these movie stars, as Nikki Glazer said in this joke, they're just moving on to TV,
Well,
TV and streaming.
TV is more creative, I think, than movies are these days, and you're allowed to tell longer form stories. You know, a lot of these, the Penguin, for instance, a limited series that got to be an 8-hour, 9-hour series, and you're not able to tell stories like that on the big screen in just one movie.
Whoa. Well, not. I kind of want to push back on that because Hollywood actors have always loved doing TV shows because most of them.
No.
I don't know why. No. Listen, most of them love to pay better because with a movie you get it in one lump sum, but with TV you keep getting weekly. You can get it like you get more. You feel like you get more bang for your buck as working TV. That's why I'm seeing like with guys like it's a more consistent check when you work TV. That's what a lot of actors say. I mean, a lot of big time actors as well.
It depends on who you are. I mean, to do Jim Carrey getting paid $20 million, no TV star was getting paid that unless you're Jerry Seinfeld back in the 90s. It was sort of a stigma if you were a television star. I think a lot of that started to change, honestly, once a show like Breaking Bad came out, The Sopranos, once these big shows in the 2000s, late 2000s, your Game of Thrones, shows like that, it sort of overtook the star power of a Hollywood star on the big screen. And you mentioned it, Josh, people aren't going to the movies as often. Wicked, did numbers. Barbie last year did numbers, but for the most part, they're just not. And even the things that people thought were just always going to be bankable at the box office are losing out. Every Star Wars movie that came out since Episode 7 has gone significantly worse box office wise. Every Marvel movie, it seems like for the most part in the last 3 or 4 years, has been a significant disappointment. So I don't know what Hollywood needs to do. I personally think they need to make smaller films, movies that don't cost as much, so you don't end up losing as much, because a lot of these movies cost 150, 200, 300 million dollars, and to make profit on that, you're gonna have to make close to $1 billion, which is insane to think about. Make a $10 million movie.
What's the movie The Rock made? Code Red, something like that.
Red One, and it
Red
lost
One.
Amazon millions and millions of dollars because it cost a ridiculous amount of money, and it didn't even look like a well-produced movie in the sense that it didn't look expensive. I've seen movies with shoestring budgets that look amazing. There was a Godzilla movie that came out 2 years ago. Godzilla something one, -1 is the name of it. Cost $10 million to make. It looks like it was a $300 million movie. So I don't know where these Hollywood productions are putting these budgets to, but I was happy though with one winner for the Golden Globes. And I'm not really an award show guy, but I was very happy Demi Moore won for Best Actress for the movie The Substance, which is my favorite movie
had
of
to
the
watch.
year. So shout out to her.
I had to watch that movie. I've been hearing great reviews about it.
I loved it. I had it as my #1 movie of the year from my countdown, which should be coming out this week, Josh, on the Recess Bells film reel. But yeah, I don't know. The award shows, I'm happy when my guys win. I was happy when, Brendan Fraser won a few years ago. But I don't know. It's just a bunch of Hollywood elitists. And the Golden Globes is the foreign press. So you got a lot of like snooty foreigners. That doesn't sound like horrible, but I don't know, it is what it is. They have a different taste in show business. So a lot of more foreign projects actually won than I think the Oscars will have. But I don't know. I'm not really an award show guy.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that share that sentiment with you, Justin. But like you said, as far as film reel goes, that episode, the Justin's best movies of 2024, that's going to be a great episode. Justin, you want to know the worst movie I saw this past year?
Let me hear it.
Yo, Trap by M.
Trap.
Night.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that. I heard it was horrendous.
Awful.
Hold on a second. Is that the one with a guy? Is that the one with a guy? It's like he takes his daughter to a concert.
Yeah.
Josh Hartnett plays this serial killer who is trapped in a concert.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta go watch that. I found the plot to be so intriguing.
That's the thing. Like, Justin, you got to get me on a film reel episode on this, but just as a summary, first half of the movie, I was locked in. I'm like, this is interesting. It's low key goofy, but it has enough of good plot engines to where I'm locked in. I'm like, oh shit, he going there. Oh shit, the cops is rolling in. Like it was good. It was good. I felt the first half was good. The second half, like there's a clear moment where I think M. Night just forgot how to or didn't know how to end the movie. And
that's a lot of M. Night. He just
he
has good concepts, and then he always has to either put a crazy twist in. And I didn't see the movie yet, but I did watch an extensive review on it, and it just looked like it was, for the most part, it looked like he was just whoring out his daughter, who was his real life daughter, who's the main singer that they're going to see, and it seemed like it was just a concert for her.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, Nepo
That's
baby
exactly
to the
what it was.
extreme. His other daughter, he produced a movie.
What's it called? Don't tell me. The Watcher?
Yeah, which was one of my worst movies of 2024. Horrendous. Horrendous. So both of his daughters are just untalented, I guess.
M. Night,
Wow.
a two-time criminal in 2024.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, y'all just burying M. Night Shyamalan.
Bro, you watch the movies, you're gonna understand. Like,
oh yeah,
not good.
I'm definitely gonna watch.
Yeah, I'll have the list of the worst movies that should be coming out, soon after the top 5 best. But there's a lot of worse, unfortunately. But I think 2025 is going to be a good year as far as the bigger budget movies go. We have this new Captain America movie coming out in February, which I think it's going to be well received. And I have hope for the new Jurassic World movie. We finally got a new Superman. And the one I'm looking forward to is the Fantastic Four. About time the Fantastic Four enters the MCU. Now, that's just for the big budget movies. As far as Oscar caliber movies, those are the ones I'm more interested in. And we'll see, what those usually come out at the end of the year.
We'll see. And once again, that's the Recess Bell film reel. Search that up wherever you get your podcast from. It's also available on therecessbell.com. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We got a few minutes left. We are going to save the NBA talk for another day, sometime later this week. I know Jimmy Butler's trade request is getting a lot of attention. He's falling out with the Miami Heat.
That's kind of crazy. Heat culture ain't heat culture, baby.
Yeah, heat culture, right? The hardest, most professional. What is it called? Like all that bullshit they was peddling to the people about how heat culture is so much higher above everybody else. Like, and Jimmy Butler just taking a big ass piss all over it. Like, Heat culture.
Hey,
So that's
one
something
thing,
we'll get to.
one thing I can say.
Yeah.
One thing I can say is when Jimmy leaves the team, he detonates a nuclear bomb before he goes.
He has a reputation for doing that, even before he came to Miami. Remember Tobias Harris over me and that whole thing? Like
Yeah, and then in Minnesota to cycle. Give me the backups. We gonna kill these guys.
Yeah, and Karl Anthony Towns' his rep, as I've seen, as he's been a great Knick for the first 3 months of the season. It's funny
Shout
when
out to
people
Big
think
Purr.
about Cat. When when people still think about Cat, they still think about that situation, even though he's done a lot to dispel the soft narrative. But
Because
yeah,
he
Jimmy
said, because
Butler's
I remember he said he had no heart.
yeah.
Showing a lot of heart in NYC right now.
Yeah, man, the NBA is going crazy. I did want to play this clip to kind of tease what we're gonna do this week. So Charles Barkley, I think all of our favorite show is Inside the NBA. It's amongst our
Yes.
favorites in terms of sports coverage.
Mhm.
Yeah, do I have this video here? Yeah, so remember JJ Redick when we had the whole conversation about NBA ratings and why they're down, and JJ Redick essentially said, like, yo, pay attention to how a lot of these shows are talking about the NBA in a negative light. That doesn't make fans want to watch the game more. It turns them off to it. And he didn't explicitly say inside the NBA, but most people knew, like, okay, he's talking about inside the NBA. Charles Barkley last week wasn't happy.
Was he just talking about folks on TV?
He said something about we're the reason people ain't watching this crappy product we got. I said, JJ, yeah, us, like we out there jacking up 103s a night. JJ, I don't know Jason Monroe. I don't know who that is, but JJ, you come for the king, you better not miss. Because I can get you, brother, because I got your Lakers games. You can't hide them flaws they got. You just a dead man walking. They got rid of Frank Vogel, who did a good job. They got rid of Darvingham, who did a good job. But you came out there thinking you were going to change things with that same ugly girl you went on the date with.
64-51 was your halftime score. As we get back to the highlights, and Rudy Gobert.
He came in there thinking, I can make this thing work. Hell, you can.
77-71.
Put some makeup on that pig.
Man, the Lakers are pigs.
The Lakers stink, man.
Oh, man, okay.
Come on, man.
Tatum, by the way, has 38.
He wraps up that rant by saying, put some makeup on that pig. I mean, Kory, is he wrong with what he's saying about the Lakers, though?
No, he's giving some hard truths, unfortunately. I mean, the JJ experiment hasn't been on to a great start right now. They're still trying to find their way. And unfortunately, LeBron's career is winding down. So I would have thought he had a better plan in place.
I mean, Kory, I don't know. He's 40 years old, all of a sudden doing 360 windmill left-handed dunks on primetime. So I don't know. Is he done? Like, how does LeBron James? I'm not gonna go there.
Steroids.
People. He went there. He said it, not me. Allegedly, Bron, allegedly. But yes, I do want to give some flowers on our way out. Shout out this happy couple right here, yo, Zendaya.
Man, I fell down to my knees in a Walmart.
Yeah, that's what Shameik Moore said, probably. Like, oh, how is everybody getting they Spider-Man co-stars except me? How is that possible? That's probably what he's saying right now.
One second. As soon as he seen that Tom Holland guy, and then he said, in the great words of Stephen A. Smith, how do you do that? How do you do that?
Yeah, man. Listen, I am so happy for them. You know what I mean? For my own selfish agendas and reasons. I mean, here's a random video of them.
Shout out to the short kings out there.
See, you see
short
it.
King.
You see it.
Short king.
You know, Kory, if anybody's talked to me about like my relationship past, right? And I'm not saying I'm Casanova or nothing, but I've had my fair share of relationships and couples, right? Now there's always one consistent theme with me in dating.
What?
Let's just say let's just say that I don't mind climbing trees every now and then. You know what I mean? It just so happens when I look back on the vast majority of my relationships, they've been taller than me. So that's why I just have special type of happiness for Zendaya and Tom Holland right here. Like this is just the height difference. Yeah, climb that tree, Tom. I see you, boy. I'm proud of you. Climb that tree, my boy.
I give it 5 years.
Wow. Justin, the cynic.
Once that Spider-Man series ends, it's over.
Let's bet. Yo, Justin, let's bet the over and unders.
No. We're not betting over unders on how long a relationship gonna last.
I don't even think they get married.
I got stop it. I got over. Stop. Damn. I got over 5. I got over the 5. I got over your 5.
No way.
Kory, can you see yourself in a relationship with a girl taller than you?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know why, right?
Why is that, Kory?
We ain't gonna, cause I ain't the shortest motherfucker, so I think I got a shot at getting me at least a 6'5", 6'4". You know, I'm gonna get him to the league.
Oh, I cracked the code, Justin. Yeah, Kory's gonna pull a LeVar Ball.
Hey, look, I ain't
gonna marry a 6'5" tall glass of milk. And raise the next LaMelo Ball.
Brother, if I was in Africa and I could get me the next Manute Ball, I would.
Don, are you saying you wouldn't mind being a passport bro? Is that what you're
Oh no. I'm saying if I was in Africa and I met a tall chick who like
as a passport bro that got to fly out the country to meet their wife.
No. I'm just saying if I happen to be visiting in Africa, brother. I do not condone passport bros.
No Kory on 90 Day Fiance?
No.
I would love to see that.
I'll be pure entertainment though.
It definitely would be.
I feel like we would be great on Family Feud.
Yo, let's make that happen. That's why, like,
I'm carrying.
That's why I'm like, as we wrap up, like the recess bell, I'm happy to see everybody that tuned in tonight. Once again, the YouTube channel, the Recess Bell, we'll have the full episode for you as well as segments and some shorts, I'm sure. But that's why I'm trying to grow this company. Like, yo, I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to see what that's like. Like, what's Family Feud looking like? I know we would put on a show. I know it. I know it. Who would say it's us three and then like I don't know, Eric and Nico.
Yeah.
Who's coming with the most insane answer that just stumps Steve Harvey?
I'd say the guy at the bottom of my screen right now, Mr. Kory David.
Yeah,
I can see Steve Harvey's eyes bugging out. What did you say?
What's your ass? He'd be like, what's your ass, hey?
Nah. You know, there's this one viral video of some dude said something crazy, and then Steve he had to he was buffering.
He was just like this. He's like, I know he had that stupid look on his face.
We needed him to host the presidential debate.
Yo,
we need him to host everything.
Can he host the inauguration?
Whoa. We wouldn't go that far. Remember the last time he hosted something? He read the wrong cards.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's insane that happened. And we were talking about the Oscars. That happened at the Oscars a few years ago as well. The Best Picture. They said La La Land, but it was really Moonlight. How do you fuck that up? That's insane that actually happened.
Everybody on stage just looking like dumbass. No. Everybody on stage just looking like dumbass. But let's finish off.
Yeah, as we've covered on this show, you'd be surprised at what people can fuck up. Whether that's an $8 million salary at Fox Sports, or a Renaissance season by Sam Darnold, or anything else. You know what I mean? People can fuck up a lot. To whom much is given, much is tested. You know what I mean?
Is that the name of this episode? Fuck ups?
No, I went the family friendly route. You surprised? Like, I'm not surprised by anything we talked about today, especially concerning Fox Sports 1. I hope it's not true, but we'll see what happens as this lawsuit plays out in court. Once again, therecessbell.com. Check us out, The Recess Bell, on IG, TikTok, and X, where we're streaming tonight right now. Check out our YouTube channel. Check out the Recess Bell podcast starring myself, Justin, and Kory. Check out the Film Reel podcast starring our very own Justin Greenberg. Check us out everywhere. All right, we got a lot of content coming. 2025 is going to be a big year, so stick with us, learn our faces, and I'm sure Buck Rexington and others will be making appearances. We appreciate all our fans and guests and commenters. We love y'all. Everybody out there, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Recess Bell Show, Season 2, Episode 6, January 8th, year of our Lord 2025. Everybody say peace to the people.
Peace.
Peace out.